turning on a thin black sheet of glass. She saw both the lives flash before her eyes. She didn't even have time to cry. She was so...
We are going to dive deep into the latest developments in the manhunt for Travis Decker. What do police think? Is he alive, or are they looking for a body? We are going to look at fresh photos, intensified search zones, and what the newest reports suggest about his possible movements. Let's take a look at the updates from mynorthwest.com and Fox 13 Seattle. So the US Marshal Service has released new photographs offering a glimpse into the challenging and extensive search for Decker, the military-trained survivalist accused of kidnapping and murdering his 3 young daughters. The images underscore the rugged terrain and specialized efforts involved in tracking Decker, who has managed to evade capture for weeks in the Washington wilderness. Multiple agencies have been searching for over 3 weeks in the Chelan and Kittitas counties. You can see here the efforts that they are going to, the ruggedness of the rocks, the aerial view of the helicopter looking over the ground for Decker, any signs of Decker. So the U.S. Marshal Special Operations Group, or SOG, is working with the Border Patrol Tactical Unit and the King County Sheriff's Office to try to locate Travis Decker. The SOG is the same team who located Eric in Pennsylvania after 7 weeks of searching in the woods. He had killed 1 state trooper and wounded another. Likewise, the search for Decker could go on for weeks and weeks. The photograph above shows a U.S. Marshal in full camouflage with a boon hat lying prone on a rocky outcrop. He appears to be observing the mountains and the snow-dusted landscape right here. And this image right here, it's another photo that depicts a marshal in similar camouflage, poised with a long-range precision rifle mounted on a bipod. He is in a seated position on a rocky, uneven surface with jagged mountain peaks behind. This image suggests the presence of specialized tactical units involved in the search. 2 additional photos reveal the critical role of air support in the manhunt. One shows 2 U.S. Marshals on a snowy, rocky plain looking up, pointing towards King County Sheriff's Office helicopter, and here is another one. King County has been using their helicopter to aircraft the teams into the rural areas. The other aerial shot provides a broader view with a helicopter flying low over a turquoise lake and a snow-dusted landscape with 2 people on the ground below. This photo illustrates the vast and diverse terrain that authorities are meticulously searching. And that is this photograph right here. These newly released images from the U.S. Marshal Service provide a stark visual representation of the scale and intensity of the operation to apprehend Decker, who remains a high-priority fugitive. The bodies of the 3 girls, Peyton 9, Evelyn 8, and Olivia 5, were discovered earlier this month near Decker's abandoned vehicle after an endangered missing persons advisory was issued. What are authorities urging the public to do if they spot Decker? And after that, we will talk about another tactic they are currently using. Authorities continue to urge the public to report any suspicious activity as the search continues in the areas. What you can do: residents and cabin owners along Highway 97 and Blewett Pass are encouraged to lock their doors, monitor trail cameras, and report any unusual activity immediately. Tips can be submitted to the US Marshal Service at 1-800-336-0102 or via usmarshals.gov/tips. The Marshals are offering a $20,000 reward for information leading to Decker's arrest. Again, Decker is described as 5 feet 8 inches tall, 190 pounds, with black hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a light-colored shirt and dark shorts. According to mynorthwest.com, for the first time since the manhunt for Travis Decker began more than 3 weeks ago, investigators are acknowledging the possibility that the father accused of killing his young daughters may have died in the wilderness. They are now modifying part of their search into a recovery effort. In a statement, Kittitas County Sheriff Clay Myers said his deputies have tracked dozens of tips and reports of possible sightings of Decker, and there is still no definitive evidence he is alive. Now, do remember, they do have a campsite that they were checking DNA evidence on that has been yet to be released. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the end of this video and I will have it linked for you. Deputies have maintained extra patrols in the areas around the Tenaway Valley and Blewett Pass, Liberty, and Lauderdale. Kittitas County Regional Tactical Response Team members have spent days and nights in remote terrain working with K-9 resources and experienced trackers to identify and follow any credible lead to Decker's location. Myers said, "At this time, there's no certain evidence that Decker remains alive or in this area. Seemingly strong early leads gave way to less convincing proofs over the last 2 weeks of searching." Former FBI agent who hunted Eric Rudolph speaks about the Travis Decker case. Last week, the main thing when I talked to the sheriff up there is you can do all the profiling that you want to. When the trail goes cold and you've exhausted every lead that you can and turned over every stone that you can think of, at this point, it's just remaining vigilant and getting the word out so that every citizen is a pair of eyes out there for you. Rudolph was listed as one of the FBI 10 most wanted fugitives for 5 years until he was captured in 2003. He was convicted of a series of bombings between 96 and 98, including the Olympic Park bombings in 96 and 2 abortion clinic bombings. His attacks resulted in 2 people killed and more than 100 others injured. However, Kreider said Rudolph had a lot of people who sympathized with and supported Rudolph, who acted on strong political and religious beliefs and also targeted 2 abortion clinics. He also had individuals that were aiding him in his attempt to elude law enforcement. I don't think that's the case here. I don't think that this individual is going to get any sympathy from the public based on what he did, Kreider said. Authorities have scoured hundreds of square miles across the mountains, terrains, lakes, rivers near Leavenworth and the Enchantments, a popular rugged area of tall peaks and picturesque alpine lakes. While the Chelan County Sheriff's Office confirmed it has handed over all active search operations to federal agencies, local deputies and prosecutors remain in charge of the criminal investigation.